My name is Sameer Shaikh, and today we are going to learn about FTP pen testing. Let me share my screen first. Open. So, in FTP pen testing, let me show you the content which we are going to learn today. First is about FTP service, second, banner grabbing, and third, exploitation. And in exploitation, we are going to learn about brute force and password attack. Second, anonymous authentication. And third, remote access. So, about FTP service. An FTP, that is File Transfer Protocol Service, is a standard internet protocol and a client-server model for transferring file between computers on a network. So, it's a client-server model. So, there will be a client system, server, and all the data will be stored in the server and we can access it from the client system. Okay. So an FTP server stores files and accept commands from an FTP server user computer, allowing user to upload, download, and manage files. So what happens in this is the client system will send a request to the FTP server for the data or any file which he wants to download or upload. So FTP server will first authenticate the FTP client and then it will transfer the data to the FTP client system. It uses separate connection for commands if the port number is 21 and for data the port number is 20. But FTP lacks built-in security feature because the data transfer will be done in a clear text and there will be no encryption over there. So a newer version, a protocol was introduced that was SFTP, that is Secure File Transfer Protocol. Next, we are going to learn about banner grabbing. So banner grabbing is a method used to obtain information about computer system and services on open ports, providing details such as software type and version. And it is used by attackers and security team for enumeration purpose. So what happens in banner grabbing? When we run some commands, we'll get the information about the open ports and what are the software they are using, what are the version they are using. We'll get all this information in this banner grabbing. Okay, so next, and you can see the command which is mentioned over here, that is NC, that is netcat, and the target IP and the port number which we are going to target. And below that, you will see the information about the which version of FTP is running on that system, that is 2.3.4. Next, we are going to learn about exploitation. So in FTP, exploitation is a malicious act of taking advantage of security vulnerabilities in the file system protocol to gain unauthorized access, steal data, or disturb a system. So what happened in the FTP exploitation? So once we get the open port, the services which they are running with, the software they are running, and the version which they are using it, from this information we can exploit that vulnerability, and we can get unauthorized access. We can steal data or disturb the system. As you can see, standard FTP is an outdated and insecure protocol, transmitting data and credentials in unencrypted clear text. And it is vulnerable to many attacks, many types of attacks. So first it's brute force attack, anonymous authentication, and remote access. One by one, we are going to learn about this. So what is brute force and password cracking? An attacker manually or automatically tries combination in a predictable sequence without relying on additional intelligence. So what happened in this? In this, we have a username file and a password file. So with the help of these tools like Hydra, Medusa, and Crack, we will run a code in it where if we have 10 users and 10 passwords in this file, so one on one, it will check that as you can see on the image also, it has checked the root and the PASS pass, then root and password. So whatever names we are going to give, the username or the password, it will run each and every command on that files. We are going to see on the uh, on the practical of the same. Okay. And second, it's a very powerful tool, Hydra. It is an open source tool designed for performing brute force attack on various protocols and services to test the authentication mechanism. And you can see the syntax over there, Hydra hyphen capital L username.txt hyphen P, that is password .txt file, and the target IP and the which protocol we are going to attack, that is FTP. Okay. Next, we have the second attack. It is anonymous authentication. So an anonymous file transfer protocol is a method that lets user access public file from a root server or archive site without requiring them to identify themselves to the server or site. The user uses an FTP program or the FTP command interface and enter anonymous as the user ID. The password may be furnished by the FTP server or the user may provide their own. So in this attack, you can directly access the file transfer protocol from with the username anonymous, and you can leave the password as blank, and you will get the access to it. Next is remote access. So in this, first we have to run MSF console. Then we have to search for VSFTP, that is the FTP protocol. And as you can see on the right-hand side, there are some modules which we receive when we search for VSFTPD. And that is well, first is auxiliary, that is 2.3.2, and one is exploit, that is a backdoor 2.3.4. Okay. Then we have to remember the number which is there and we have to use it as it is. Like if we want to do auxiliary, then we have to use 0. If you want to exploit that vulnerability, then we have to use 1. And then we have to show option. And you can see when we search for show option, there are some options which we can see over there. That is C host, C port, proxies, R host, and R port. And after that, we have to set the R host target. That is the target IP. We have to set it. And then either we can run, sorry, either we can type run or we can type exploit to exploit it. Okay. Now we are going to see the practical for the same. Okay. So open my VMware. As you can see, so this is my Kali Linux, and this you can easily download it from kali.com, kalilinux.com, and the username password will be Kali. And this is my meta exploitable. This is the target system. So first we'll check the IP address, that is 192.168.244.134. Okay. Then first we'll ping it 190, sorry, that's ping 192.168.244.134. So we are getting the response from that system. Okay. Clear it. First, we'll take the sudo su, that was the root access. Now, first, we'll go with the anonymous users attack. So we'll type FTP and the IPS 192.168.244 and 134. You can see we get the access of we get the information, and now we have to type the username, that is anonymous, and it's asking for password. And you can see we get the FTP option over there, and we can check for directories and we get some information. We can type help and we get some information on that. As you can see, all the mkdir directory names. So we get some information. So from the username anonymous, we can access the FTP. Okay. We exit it. Okay. Now here. Now we'll check for the Medusa attack. And when you type Medusa, just make sure that when it's changed its color to blue. That means the Medusa has been installed in the system. Okay. Before performing this attack, we need to create the username and password file. Okay. So it's nano and we take user name dot txt, and now we have to mention some username in that. Also like administrator will mention Kali, will mention the root, and so that MSF console. FTP and use. Okay. Now we need to save it. Control O. And okay. Now same we need to create a password file .txt. Have to mention same as admin password pass here SSWD password MSF console root administrator. Okay. And we will keep one blank also. Okay, now we have created a username file and password file. We'll use Medusa. So we can check for help. So these are the commands which we can use it in that. For H, You can see target host name or IP address, username to small u, username to test, caps lock u, file containing username to test. Okay, so clear that. Now, Medusa hyphen H, the username 192.168.44.134. That is the target IP. C hyphen substitute username exe dash p hyphen p, that is password exe. And now we have to mention M and the protocol which we are going to attack. Enter. And this attack might take some time. So what we can do, like we can perform Hydra attack also, and that's okay. So we'll take, so first pick root access, mm, either the hyphen L. Okay, first we'll set some help options over there. Okay, so those are the information which we get from it's that is help. Okay, restore a previous aborted crash session. I ignore an existing restore file. L for login. Okay, now let's do this. Now we have to type hydra hyphen L caps lock user username dot txt dash hyphen p password password dot txt. Then we have to mention our target IP 134 hyphen, sorry, no hyphen, and the protocol name. Press enter. Uh, as you as I can want to say, I have already informed that Hydra is a very powerful tool. So it will give us the information. Let's check. So what do we get some information about here? Okay. So you can see, so this is also successful, completed. Now we have to search for the, we need to go through this output. So you can see that in Medusa, the username which we have provided and the password. So for every username and for all the password, one by one it will take like admin password, admin pass. You can see for administrator, it has taken admin first. And I'm just looking for the answer which was successfully done. Administrator. Message console should, here also we can see that success is FTP and admin. Let us first open one more and type FTP 192.168.134 and we have to type FTP and then admin. Okay, so we have get one successful in that. We have logged in. Uh, okay. So, that's the reason. And for Hydra also, we have the some, as you can see, all the FTP login. We can use any of this password. So let us check in that do we get the access for it? FTP. Yes, so we get the info access. Let us change or use the other file for this so that we can get the exact answer for it. Okay, well, Hydra, sorry, and already have one file with me. Let's see. So, but PXT, the IP of this. Uh, see. Okay, so we got two valid password for it. Let us check it here. Here. Mm. So what are the username password which we received from Hydra? User and MSF admin. User, user, and we successfully enabled MSF admin. Sorry. MSF admin, MSF admin. Okay, so we can go through this. Okay. So as and the third option which we have checked it, the remote access. So okay, so, you- so this is the remote access. Like first you have to type FTP, and then we have to type the target IP, enter, and whatever username or password we are getting from this attacks, that Hydra or Medusa. So we need to use it over here. Let's use, okay, we'll go with MSF admin and MSF admin. Okay, now we can see help. We can see all the options over there. Okay. And we can see that for the directory, we have received one directory over there, which have some right. We can see over there. Okay, and we exit it. Okay. So today we have learned about the FTP and we have learned about various attacks in it, that Hydra and Medusa, and we have learned how to create a dictionary attack, like how to create a file, username file and the password file using Nano. Okay, and we have learned how to use the anonymous user. Okay, thank you.